Hi guys, and welcome once again to Curated Logic, where we try and up your brain game. As is obvious from some of my previous videos, I love trivia. It is why I am making the Curated Logic website, and it is why I play the games I do, read the books I read, and to be honest, do most things in my life, to learn more. However, one problem I have is that trying to find a really good trivia app is actually quite difficult. There are a number out there I have tried here and there, but none that I have been exceptionally wowed by. So, in order to try and figure out which is the best trivia app for me to continue playing, I am holding a trivia app throwdown. This is how it's going to work. I am going to break 16 apps into 4 lots of 4. And each week for the next month, take one of these groups, pit the apps within it against each other in a qualifying heat to reach the throwdown final. In each heat, I will spend exactly 15 minutes playing each app, playing as much of the app as I can, but it is only on this experience I will make my decision, and there can only be one winner. Then the 4 winners will face off in a final throwdown, and the winner of that final will become my current go-to app. Of course, I am not doing every trivia app out there, so if there is one I miss over the next 4 weeks that you love, let me know in the comments below and I will give it a go and maybe even give it a review. But back to the throwdown, facing off today in Heat 1 is Trivia Star, Triviaio, Quizit, and Knowledge Trainer. So, let's see how they fared. Failing to place in today's heat, in 4th position, is Trivia Star. I'm going to be honest, I don't have a hell of a lot of good things to say about Trivia Star. Although the aesthetics of the game were not terrible, there was little else I saw as positives to the app. Let's start with the gameplay. The general quiz game provided starts by giving you a choice of 3 categories. Being someone who likes to play a general knowledge game, I was not thrilled by the specificity of the categories. However, I thought that perhaps the gameplay and connections between rounds may make this a non-issue. It didn't. Firstly, each round was generally made up of 3 questions. I don't mind a quick game, but this was ridiculous and not at all what I wanted. To me, in a trivia game, the minimum number of questions you want to answer is probably between 7 and 10, unless a category is so specific that there are less than 10 questions that make up the entire category. 3 general questions about a ridiculously specific topic just won't cut it. Well, for me at least it won't. The other problem faced with these categories was that the choice was repetitive. If you have general topics such as the classics history, geography, science, etc., you can afford to repeat the same topic again and again, for there are many different facets of each category to be quizzed on. But when the topics you are presented with are ones such as Disney, animated movies, food, you end up not wanting to repeat the same topic again and again. But the app's choice of 3 categories seemed to be made up from a selection of about 7 specific categories, none of which I was really all that enthralled by on their own. Also, the questions themselves were not that interesting and generally not that challenging. I'm not sure if this has anything to do with what level I am on in the game, but if it is, I don't think that is a good way of selling the product. People who play trivia apps generally are people who want to be challenged from the get-go. Apart from the gameplay, there are the added parts of collecting coins and gems in order to play and buy extra avatars or similar things, but this added nothing to the game and, if anything, detracted from it. There is also a league option, but I did not try this as you had to join a club to earn stars and coins and I wouldn't have had the time. Nevertheless, I can't imagine it would have made a difference. The final thing to note about this app is the price. A general bugbear of mine, I hate expensive apps that provide little to their users, and at $6.49 a week, this app fell squarely into that category. There is nothing it provides that warrants it being anything but free and making money off the occasional ad. Taking home third in today's heat is Triviaio. I had never played this app before and was pleasantly surprised that it was unlike any other I had previously. The premise of the app is much like the premise of the game show $1 Million Money Drop. Players are asked to place a certain number of little men across answers to a trivia question. You can place them all on one answer, betting everything, or spread them out across multiple answers to play it safe. The choice is yours, and the anxiety about this choice is real. There are a few alternate ways of playing the game, but they all basically follow this formula. The design of the game is fine, nothing special, and the questions are quite good, from those I played. But the thing is, there wasn't much else to the game. There are quests and challenges, but these offer no real difference to the normal game. Once again, you work to win coins and gems you could purchase items with, but once again, this added nothing to the experience. The difference and uniqueness the app offered as compared to others I have played was great, but just that alone won't make a great app, and it is not one I am desperate to return to, even though I wouldn't mind a game here or there. I did try to find out the price of the app, ad-free, but there was not a mention of a price, and when I pressed to pretend to purchase it ad-free, the game stalled and just kept on telling me it was loading. Still, despite some positives, if the price is anywhere over a one-off payment of about $1.99, I would say you're paying too much. Deciding between first and second in this heat was hard. I spent 15 minutes on each app, but much longer than that, picking which one of the final two I liked better. Neither was perfect, and both had things that the other did not, but a decision had to be made. And so close to claiming victory, and yet just out of reach this time, it was for Knowledge Trainer. Knowledge Trainer has a lot going for it. The questions are good, and they are split up into different levels of difficulty from 1 to 5. Each question you answer correctly, the next question is a difficulty level up. Each question you answer incorrectly, the next question is down a difficulty level. This is of course assuming there is a level to move up or down to. I personally like this aspect of the game experience as I felt it gave me a sense of what most people would know and what most may not, and therefore what topics I really needed to focus on. The other thing I like about the game is that any questions you answer incorrectly are left for you to try again after the fact in the improved knowledge section of the game. Given I am all about retaining the information I learn from these games, this is a nice touch. However, there is something missing from the app that appears in other apps that I would have appreciated. Although it is great I can look up questions I got wrong again, after playing around I often want to go back and look at the questions I had just answered. This is because, although it may come as a shock, some of the questions I get right in these games, I guess. And by the end of the round, I don't always remember what I have guessed and what I have not, and I want to go back and look at all the questions so I can do some research, so the next time I get that question that I guessed, I don't have to guess and I just get it right. Having had this in some apps, this is now one of the most important aspects I look for in a trivia game. So although I really did like Knowledge Trainer, I couldn't help but feel left a little wanting. I was also left a little wanting by the fact that outside the Knowledge Trainer section, I could not find a way to pick a general category to do a quiz in. You either have to play all trivia or not play. For me, I like to sometimes cover every topic under the sun, whilst other times I like to play a classic category specific round. Doing this often helps me retain the information I learn better, as focusing on something like geography or history or whatever the category is puts me in that mindset and will often provide me questions that link together, which in turn make them easier to remember. Not being able to do this was a little let down. The final point I want to make about this app is that I was never annoyed by ads and never prompted to try and buy an upgraded version. This is fantastic. This allowed me to get more immersed in the world of the app, which was something I truly appreciated. Even though the app isn't a winner today, it would be for some people, so I suggest you guys give it a go. So that means today's heat winner is none other than Quizit. By no means a perfect app, Quizit really won the day because of the features missing from Knowledge Trainer that are now oh so important to me. After finishing a game in Quizit, you are able to go back over the questions you just answered and see where you went wrong and which answers you guessed. Doing this allowed me to leave the app to research what I wanted to research before moving on to the next quiz. You can also, in Quizit, choose to be quizzed on all or just one of the categories, providing questions from the 6 classic categories: geography, history, science and nature, entertainment, sports, and art and literature. Being a classic Trivial Pursuit devotee, I am a lover of this category combination and variance on it. The questions in the game are also very good. They range from easy to difficult, and you can adjust some of the types of questions in the settings menu should you find any of those types annoy you. The game also provides a multiplayer section, which is a good test, as I played a couple of games and lost both because my competitors both got 100% and I did not. I also like the colours and simple design of the app, although it is nothing amazing. What this app is missing, however, is not insignificant. There is little ingenuity in the game itself, and it plays like every other typical quiz game. Also, having liked the fact that I could attempt wrong answers at a later date in Knowledge Trainer, I would have liked something similar in this app. Combining this with the ability to review around after the fact would have been amazing. I'm also not a fan of the heart system always being there. This system gives you another chance at an incorrectly answered question. I like it in theory, and it is a helpful tool for learning, but sometimes I just wanted to get something wrong and move on without having to answer it again or being asked if I wanted to watch an ad for an extra life. A quick game is a good game sometimes. Still, these flaws are not massive in the scheme of things, especially when compared to some of the other apps played. As always, the last thing to touch on is the price. The app, at most, charges $2.99 for no ads and unlimited time to answer questions, and $1.99 for no ads only. This to me is worth it, even if it is more to support the creators rather than an actual desire for the upgrade. The app knows its worth well and doesn't try to make money out of its players, which helps make it feel like something that is actually truly there for the user and not to try and make a quick buck. Whether it wins the final or not, Quizit will definitely still be an app I return to. That's it for today. So Quizit moves on to the final in a month's time, and we return next week for Heat 2. If you want to continue upping your brain game, follow Curated Logic on any of the socials listed below, or you can support us through Patreon, which is also listed below. I hope wherever you are in the world, you are keeping safe and happy. Until next time, keep upping your brain game and have fun. See ya.